+7 yesterday. No snow anywhere and the roads were dry. I was gonna take that bike for a test drive, but I didn't get back in time. I was playing in a tournament in Windsor. Look at that. We're supposed to get 6 inches of snow today. And that kiboshes that. Still got to dial this bike in, and that's what I'm going to try to start on today. I wrote this down after I fired it up last week. Recheck the head bolts again. I'm going to recheck those things 3 or 4 times every time I ride it, and for the first little bit, and see if it changes at all. So, one thing about getting a bike back together, or one thing you should do, is there's a bunch of things you should check over once you get it fired up and running. And we're going to do the timing on here with a timing light. I've done it statically, right? But now I've got to do it with a timing light to make sure it's bang on. And we know it's out by, I think, at least 3 degrees. I put a mark, 3 to 5 degrees. So I put a mark in there. Retorque the cylinder head, and so the cylinder bolts I'm sure aren't going to change, but the cylinder head bolts are. You got an aluminum head on the cast iron cylinders, and the aluminum expands and contracts much more, and you're going to compress that gasket we had on there as well. So you're going to check that. We're going to check the exhaust nuts, tighten them up some more. We're going to recheck the valve clearances, but I'm not going to check them now. I've only ran the bike for 5 minutes, so I want to run it for a good 20 minutes, half hour or so, and then I'll recheck those valve clearances one more time. What else should you check? Probably going to recheck the steering head bearings once I take it for a little test drive a few times. Recheck that. The motor oil. Going to put some new spark plugs in it. We're going to put my vacuum gauges on the carbs. Make sure they're dialed right in. I got a set of gauges up there, and there's a couple tricks to using those things I want to show you. Something you should do every time you use vacuum gauges. And yeah, once you take the bike for a test drive, then you want to recheck the chain again. It's a brand new chain. It's going to stretch. Guaranteed it's going to stretch. Clutch adjustments. I really need new clutch plates in here, but I'll check the free play nut again, like they've been sitting and swollen for years. So that's going to change a little bit. And the primary chain drive. But all of this stuff I need to put on 10 or 15 or 20 miles on the bike before I check all that stuff. The main thing right now is to do the carbs and timing again, and retorque the heads, and that's what I'm going to start on next. Okay, going to start to work on this bike. Had to get a few tools. I'm going to try this head thing on here. See if it works. Hope doesn't make anybody too dizzy. If it is, I'm going to change it. I had to go buy a timing light. Harbor Freight special. Because my timing light down here is garbage. This is an old Craftsman one. I've had for years and years. It says $5 there, but I think I bought that new. That's the garbage. Doesn't work. Wow, is this ever light duty, this thing. Super light duty. The other one's all steel, so you get banging around, dropping everything. I can see this one isn't going to last as long. You don't use these very often anymore with all the electronic ignition. It's got a dwell on it. Okay, I'll get that set up. get my vacuum gauges out and get started on this. Okay, I gotta make some room in here. Got a construction zone going on in the basement, and I've been working on my truck the past week. Had to put all new shocks in that, had a blow-in shock in it. I gotta move all this crap out of the way. What's going on there? Hope that didn't go down. Yeah, I think it did. Oh no, it went down. Yep. I need a bigger garage. This pedal dropped. Okay. Get that going here. Yeah, this first, what the hell is that? This first gauge, you can see it's out. I've tried to adjust it before. This one's buggered up. So we can use the other three. Oh, I also got I was at Harbor Freight today. Finally got an orbital sander. So I'll keep borrowing Peter's. Let's get this gear oil back in here. Change the gear oil in my truck too, front and back. And fix the leak. So maybe my driveway will stay drier now. But this was on sale. Pretty cheap, Harbor Freight. But with this I'll be able to do that, that side cover there. Make it a lot easier. I could turn the heat up in here. It's still pretty cold. Maybe not that much, about there. So we'll use this battery for the timing light. The other reason why I went to this H4 bulb type is so that I can change it to an LED. And you can't do that with the stock, the stock Lucas headlight. It's a different type, but with this type I can convert that to an LED or a HID system, and that's probably what I'll do. So the wiring is going to be coming pretty soon. This feels real heavy. Nothing in there. Nope. Okay, let me get this set up. This is the nice thing about having a wooden roof. You can screw anything in anywhere. Let's see how this works. Okay. enough hoses, I think so. They're a little bit lower. Right there. It's a problem with these hoses, they just fall off. I'm not sure, I think I replaced these hoses. I think they were all clear hoses on here when I bought it. I thought these would work a little better. This is kind of a cheap set for sure. We'll work with these two, center two. Yeah, get that on there. Okay, one side on. Let me get the carbs balanced first. Get it running as smooth as possible with the jets and everything, and then I'll put the timing light on it. Get in there. Okay, turn that fuel on. Turn the main fuel on. I did reverse those petcocks down there. Shut the furnace off. Probably gonna have to open the door. Drink some vitamin water. Think about it all. Let me see. It's a bright little light switcher. Let's see where for oil. Looks like the oil's right there. I don't like the way that fits on there. I think the paint's made it too thick for it to go on there very good. There we go. Now, I don't think I touched the wiring. I think the wiring's all still good to go. Spark plugs. I forgot to get new spark plugs. I need a screwdriver. Okay. Let's see what we got going here. I don't know if I should open up the garage door now. I haven't fired this thing up since the last video. So, over a week ago again. Probably 8 days ago, I think. Gas there. Gas there. So, these balancing gauges I'm going to use to set the slides at idle to get them pulling the exact same vacuum. Even if one cylinder is dead, it's still going to pull a vacuum from the pistons on the downstroke. So that's what we're going to watch for in here. You don't want to rev it up too much when it's on your vacuum gauges here. I'm not sure if these things are shut off or on right now. I think I'll shut them off. Luckily I'm painting that tank. I'll shut them off and then I'll slowly open them. Okay, let's put this in my pocket. Key on. I got the choke is on this way. I think every time I go to start this thing, I gotta think if I've done everything. Let's see what happens. Oh, come on. Whoop, this thing's falling down. I'm gonna shut this off and go to the this camera here. Okay, try that camera. The choke on. Yeah, I'm going to turn the idle up a little bit to start with. Down pretty low. Yeah, it's still pretty cold in here too. There. Choke more. That exhaust nut's coming loose. Alright, let me get this set up better and then we'll do the vacuum. Let's try this again. Keys on that way. Choke is off.
might adjust the mixer screw to get the maximum RPM. Choke was vibrating on. Still idling too high. I gotta tighten this choke up. It was half on. I was wondering why the RPM was going up, down, up, down. Let me just see where these mixture screws are at here. Half, one, almost 1.5. Half, one, almost 1.5. Let me see where this one's at. Half, one. Okay, yeah, so this was the carb that the piece of wire went in loosey-goosey, went right straight in. That's the carb, so it's going to have a little bit more fuel coming through than the other side. That carb I had to really push to get that wire through, so it's going to be a little bit leaner on that side, having that screw a little bit farther. But the idler was kind of going up and down, like that's kind of what happens when you're sucking air. And, or tight valve. But, no leaks. Let's see what happens now. I'm going to try to tighten this up some more. Oh yeah, that tightens up more now. There. Okay. Let's see what happens here now. The key still on, I think. I gotta turn the idle up a little bit now. Let's turn it a little bit there. A little bit there. It's getting closer. screw around with this a bit and get it set up. I'm going to let this cool down before I do the timing on it with the light, but I think I'll just put this video for now. And yeah, like those carbs aren't really dialing in. I'm getting the idle's kind of going up and down a little bit. It'll sit there and idle a little bit, then it'll come up, just like it's sucking air, it's lean, or the slides are sticking a little bit. That's those idle circuit jets. Like I said, this side, I could stick the wire right straight through here. Went through the first time, loosey-goosey. The other side, the right side, I had to really push it through there, and it was even when I got it in, it was still snug. You know, I couldn't get it as it's not as clean as this one, so it's not going to be getting as much fuel. But I thought I could compensate with adjusting the mixture screws. You know, this one a little bit more in, the other a little bit more out to equalize the fuel, but I don't think that's going to be accurate enough for this bike. The slides are set up pretty equal. They're drawing the same vacuum. I've got it so it'll idle at about 1,000 right now, but I'm nothing's perfect, I guess. So I'm gonna let that cool down. I think I'll just put this video up for now. The last video was almost an hour long, way too long. And yeah, she didn't run exactly like a top at the end of the last video, but it was pretty close. It runs pretty good now. It's not smoking. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do for now. I'll put this video on and we'll do the timing one either later today or tomorrow.